I mean, the sky's blue, water's wet. The Packers own the Bears. I mean, it's just that's just the way this goes.
And the way it goes.
And that was a hell of a debut as the brand new era of Packer footballs under Jordan Love kicked off to as good of a start as you could possibly hope for.
Not at full strength either.
He looked, Watson was out.
Yeah.
He looks fantastic, man. And just Bears defense couldn't get off the field on 3rd down or 4th down. It was awful. And he just exposed them. And it looked like
he exposed them.
Oh yeah, he completely
Damn.
Just an absolute disaster for the Chicago Bears, but it was all because of Jordan Love and that Packers offense, who look like they, are ready to not only move on from Aaron Rodgers, but try and build something new with yet another performance from a quarterback there at Soldier Field that left Bears fans looking around like, why the hell can't we have that here for the last 30 to 40 years? So let's take a listen to Matt LaFleur. He was the head coach of the Green Bay Packers, who was talking afterwards about the performance of Jordan Love.
I couldn't be more proud of just his performance, his poise. There's a big time belief in that locker room for Jordan Love. And I think the guys, they're going to rally around him. They're excited for him. They love him. They respect him. He comes to work every day.
I mean, I don't think anybody's going to sit here and say, all right, well, they're going to go 3 for 3, Hall of Fame quarterback to Hall of Fame quarterback to Hall of Fame quarterback. But just from a start to a new era standpoint, this is as good as it could possibly be. In Soldier Field against the Bears, and you roll that out and give them that burger and serve it to them like that, to me, this is as good as everything that they were hoping for with the Packers when it came to Jordan Love. They got it yesterday in Chicago.
I mean, I think that sums it up. He had strong control over the offense. You would say that that's because he has such a familiarity with LaFleur. And co, the offensive playbook. He understands what's going on in the National Football League because he's had ample amount of time to adapt and adjust and to see what it's all about. And he's been in the quarterback room and in practices with one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. And I would probably venture to say that Aaron Rodgers had that same scenario play out for him. Some of the things that I saw Jordan Love do were Aaron Rodgers-esque. He kind of had that same type. It's kind of weird. He had somewhat close to the same type of demeanor in how he was doing things. Like it looked as though you saw a player who has been influenced by the play of another. And he's talented enough to execute on that level, and whether people would agree or not in terms of how much he looked like Aaron Rodgers out there on the field. I just thought his ability to deliver the ball, he was cool, he was calm, his control and command over the offense, him knowing when to take chances and not. I mean, obviously, Aaron Jones was the sole catalyst in a lot of ways of the success, and it wasn't very many times that they went to him. It was just the fact that he did so well when they did. And so to me, just seeing the way he played, seeing the way Green Bay played, seeing the way that they were excited about what Jordan Love was doing would give you the idea and the belief that this Green Bay Packers team has a very, very good chance of being a team that moves forward. And whether it's the third generation next to be the greatest quarterback and be anointed a Hall of Fame quarterback or not, I think we would all agree that he's off to a good start. I mean, it wasn't, and even for him, I said it wasn't a crazy day for Dak Prescott. Well, it wasn't a crazy day so much for him. I mean, I thought 245 on the day is a good. That's a good number. You know, it's not a horrible number. It's not like he didn't have any real production. He put up 3 TDs. He protected the ball. There were no interceptions. So he had a good day. He had a solid day in the office. It wasn't a world-beating performance, but it certainly was impressive to see what he was able to do coming out in his debut.
So you kind of made the point, and I remember we talked about this. One of the things that stood out after Colorado's opener was Shedeur Sanders and how poised he looked. Like he looked like he was totally calm, totally cool. Even if there was a bad play or maybe the number, if just the play, this play wasn't there, he would get rid of the play. Just there was a total calmness to his performance, and I got the same vibe with Jordan Love. And you can look at the box score, and you can look at it, and it's similar to the Micah Parsons conversation that we just had. You could look at just the box score, and you could say, well, I mean, he had 1 sack and a couple of pressures. I mean, that's not really that kind of performance is going to get you defensive player of the year. But if you watch the game and don't look at just the numbers, it tells you a different story.
It gives you a different feeling.
Yeah. If you watched the Packers-Bears game yesterday, it looked like Jordan Love was totally in control the entire
he's been
time.
The starter for a while.
Totally in control.
It didn't look like he was having first game starting jitters, or my first year as the starter without Aaron jitters. It just looked like we at the office.
Yeah.
And I do this, and I'm really good at doing this. So enjoy the show. That was kind of the feel he had. Like he almost, if you saw him, and they showed him on the sideline a few times. They showed him on the sideline a lot. He just had more of a relaxed, almost borderline nonchalant look, and it was kind of Aaron Rodgers-esque.
Yeah,
this is what I do. Give me my proppers. I'm gonna come back out here. We're gonna do it again. I'm gonna come back out and I'm gonna chill and we're gonna smile, but it's gonna be almost like a sarcastic smile, and we're gonna continue to just do what we do to the Bears, which is win.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, that's all they do. I mean, I don't know. Look, you're probably not going to see a defense that played as poor as Chicago did yesterday, to where they couldn't get off, as we mentioned, off the field on 3rd down and 4th down. They weren't really able to get any pressure. He had a bunch of time there. But as you mentioned, look, they weren't at full strength. I mean, there was, they were missing some pieces there.
And had injuries. They were on the injury report.
And the fact that you take over for Rodgers, and the first game that you take over, when everybody's celebrating Rodgers and the Jets and they won the offseason and they're Super Bowl contenders and the Packers aren't going to be the same, and where do they put you? On the road in Soldier Field, and you roll that out and give them that kind of loss, that's impressive, man. And if you're a Packer fan right now and you're listening, and I know we're on in Wisconsin, if you're a Packer fan, you come away from that game going, yeah, we may not see the same crummy defense that we saw from the Bears yesterday, but at least we got a guy who, in a pressure moment with a lot on the line and a lot of people watching, one of the featured late games on Fox, you get the number one crew calling the game there in Chicago, and you go out and dominate like that. That's and look, they've got Atlanta on the road next week, do the Packers, and then they've got New Orleans and Detroit, and then the Raiders. Then you hit your bye week in week 6. I mean, there's a real opportunity. We're looking at a team that's going to be 3-2 at worst.
Aaron Jones is a beast, though, man.
Yeah, no, he's a stud. But
that dude is a beast, bro.
The Falcons are a winnable game. I mean, New Orleans didn't look all that great. You're going to get them at home. I look at it and I go, man, this is off to a much better start, even though it's 1 week, than I think anybody could have expected. Even if had they lost, but he still performed the way he performed, you would feel good about it. Man, he was fantastic, and they won that game going away. That game wasn't close. So good for the Green Bay Packers.
What does that mean for Justin? What does that mean for your team? You rolled it out very differently for the Cowboys-Giants game, well, and if I'm a Giants fan, and I mean, if you're a Bears fan like Jonas Knox, what does that mean? That's just
a reckless allegation here. Well, because I have a solution. All right, because at this point, if you're a Bears fan, you just got to go ahead and be brutally honest with yourself about the situation. There's only one way to solve this. Okay, you got dominated by Brett Favre for a long time. Then you got dominated by Aaron Rodgers. You're one game in and you just got dominated by Jordan Love. You haven't been able to figure out the quarterback position, and they've had 30 years of Hall of Fame play. So after yesterday, look, it's like an 8-hour drive. Just go join the CFL. It's over.
Dang.
It's over. Like, what are you going to do? And not to mention, the Lions look pretty good winning on the road. I mean, the Vikings, that wasn't ideal for anybody involved. I don't know how many people had the Vikings losing to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield in Week 1, but it's just that's as bad as it could have gone for the Bears, who watched the guy that they assume is their franchise quarterback get completely outplayed by Jordan Love, who's been sitting on the bench for 3 years. So, is what it is, man. Go to the CFL.
Man.
Put together a rivalry with the Toronto Argonauts.